Hey, what's up gamers? Life Without Pants here with another Path of Exile video, and in today's video we're going to talk about a strategy we've been running on stream for a little while. We ran 50 city square maps and we did it with Expedition. I'm just going to show you what it looks like quickly here. We selected the Essence Mapcraft. We've gone with Polished Expedition. Scarabs is about 6 chaos each. We've got Polished Cartography because we want to drop more maps because there's a lot of money in maps. Rustinger, Harbinger Scarabs, and Sacrifice Fragments. And these Sacrifice Fragments are essentially free. I think they're 4 chaos it cost us for all 50 of these that we did in this test. And we just run in and kill the boss straight away. So that way when the Eldritch Influence altars spawn, then we don't get any that pertain to map boss stuff, and we can just choose increased quantity as quickly as possible. So here's the boss dead in City Square. There's a reason we chose this map. It's very easy to do this. So I'm just going to run to the end here and we're going to get to the Expedition. Okay, so as I said, we're at the Expedition now, and the reason we clear out the map first and kill the boss first is so that we can spawn a bunch of Eldritch Altars, and all of those Eldritch Altars will pertain to either the player or Eldritch Minions. And we don't really care about the Eldritch Minions too much, we care about the player because we can get some with increased quantity of stuff found in this area. So I think if I bring this down here, yeah, so we've got 105% increased quantity of items found in this area, which means basically double the chance for us to drop Expedition logbooks, which is, they're kind of big ticket items for Expedition. They'd be worth anything from 25 chaos to 90 if you get the right ones. Sometimes even more if you've got a big boss in them. So I'm just gonna get all these, all the altars that are necessary here, or all these are called remnants. So we're gonna take all of these that we can, and then we're gonna start the Expedition. Just try and make sure we get as many as possible. You want to make sure that you don't get any of these. If your build can't do fizz damage or can only do fizz damage, then make sure you don't take those ones. I've definitely done that before a couple of times and it sucks. So yeah, we've got cold damage. There's another Expedition logbook node here, so we're definitely going to take that. And then I think there's a couple more of these runic monster markers here. I think we might be able to get all of them. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now, and you can check, see how much, if you've taken any bad mods before you start by just mousing. There's a little thing here. You can see it's immune to fire and lightning damage. Now, I've already taken one of the quant modifiers for this zone, and it was plus 50% quant, so I definitely wanted that, but it gave us minus to 50 to about cold and lightning. So this is going to be a little bit rippy, might die here. So hopefully just kill everything before it kills us, which is generally the Path of Exile strat. So we've got our first logbook now, and there are many times when doing this that we got 0 logbooks, and you can have streaks of not getting any logbooks, and sometimes then you can drop 2 or 3 in a map all at once. I don't think we ever got 3 at once, but we certainly got a couple of times when we got 2. You just want to try and maximize the amount of logbooks you can get. The other reason we're doing City Square is it's good for Essence as well. So we are taking Essence on the map device, and we could have taken the Freezing Shrine, that might have helped. And the reason for that is that we're using these Remnants of Corruption, and when you find an Essence with Misery, Envy, Dread, or Scorn, then you can right-click your Remnant of Corruption, click on the essence, and it might change it into one of the 4 top-tier essences, which are worth a lot more. So that's basically what the strat was. Let's take a look at the loot and the costs. And just before we get into that, here's a little video of me using a Remnant of Corruption that I took whilst we were streaming the other day, so take a look. And here we can see we've got a Shrieking Essence of Dread and a Shrieking Essence of Misery. We use the Remnant of Corruption on it, and it changes it into an Essence of Delirium and Essence of Horror. Pop it open, kill the monsters, take the loot, and it turned our 1 chaos worth of essences into 40, which is pretty decent. Okay, so The costs for this were pretty reasonable. I mean, we did 50 maps, so we got 50 city square maps. We chiseled them, we out them, we viled them. We use sacrifice fragments, which are, I think I said, pretty much free. It cost 4.15 chaos for us to get 50 of them, so it was really, really cheap. I think I just bought them in a... I bought most of these things with Exalts because it's just easier that way. We got polished expedition scarabs, like I said. We got rusted harbinger scarabs, polished cartography scarabs again because lots and lots of maps are great, and 50 essence map crafts too. I think maybe something that I didn't show in this costs are the actual remnants of corruption themselves. They're about 1 chaos each, but you absolutely self-sustain. So we may have put in 4 at the beginning, but we certainly got enough after the first few to keep ourselves going. So all in all, we spent 1,070-ish, 1,070 chaos on our costs. And let's take a look at the Atlas tree. So here's our Atlas tree. It's a bit scuffed, but we're essentially taking all the expedition nodes that we can, but we are not taking these, +4 chance to contain an expedition encounter because we're forcing it with a scarab anyway. So we don't take these small passives for extra chance to have expedition encounters. We in fact blocked it over here as well, trade embargo, because again we're using a scarab for it. So this just means that we're going to get, it's more likely for us to have Legion, and we're more likely to have rogue markers as well. We didn't get that many Legion encounters, and they're quite sort of lackluster in City Square, so next time I would actually block Legion as well. We don't have any substantial Legion nodes apart from this one, just because we had few points left over. Obviously we're taking Shaping the Skies and Shaping the Mountains, we're taking Shaping the Valleys and Shaping the Seas because we want lots of maps. Maps were a hefty portion of our profits here. I've since put on Valley of Darkness just because we've got a HeadHunter on, so it makes it just it makes it a little bit better. We're using sextants, and we're not using any great sextants. We're just using lightning packs or cold monsters, that kind of stuff. We've got the essence nodes on, and that's basically it. We also got the secret stash one here, and also we've got singular focus because when we look at our atlas, all our favored maps are city squares, and I think the cost for our city squares was 7 chaos each, and by the time we had finished this they were down to 6 chaos anyway, so maybe we lost a bit of money there, but it's fine. Okay, so let's talk about our loot. So we overall, I think we did fantastic. We got a bunch of city square maps. Again, they go for 6 chaos each at the moment. So I think we have almost 60 here, something like that. I've got the Excellence Next data up here. Maybe we can just take a look at it. We have 70 city square maps, so that's very decent. We've got a bunch of stacked decks as well. We've got about 100 of those. That's about an Exalt if you sell them in bulk. We've got a lot of chaos orbs as well, and that's including taking away the 150 that we used initially for all of our essence crafts. We've got a lot of smaller currency nodes. We did drop 1 raw Exalt in the whole experiment, but we also got 1 Exalt out of shards just from Harbinger nodes. We got a bunch of recombinators, which is pretty good, and I mean the expedition stuff, we got 1 Knights of the Sun. This is a lot less than I would normally get, I think, and this feels like a really low number of Knights of the Sun logbooks. These are the ones that are worth 70 or 90 chaos depending if you split them. So you can get an expedition logbook with Knights of the Sun. It'll sell for 70 chaos on the trade website if it's not split, and it will sell for 70 chaos on the trade website if it is. If you sell it on Forbidden Trove, it's 90 if it's unsplit. So as soon as you get a Knights of the Sun logbook, I always split them and then sell them both for 70 chaos, because I mean it's 90 plus Fenwal Plagued Arachnid, which I think is 43, so that's 133, or you could sell both of them for 70 each, and that's 140. We got a lot of Black Scythe ones. These sell for around 40 chaos each. We only got 3 which had either Gwenon or Rog, and those are relatively cheap. I think they're 25 chaos, but still 25 chaos for a logbook is pretty decent. We got, I think, around 15 logbooks, something like that, maybe 13. We got a couple of deception contracts. I removed a lot of things from the results because, I mean, I don't really think that big drops are very useful, because we dropped one of the Enlighten and Power gems, and that's not something that will probably happen to you if you run 50 of these maps. You probably won't get that, so we removed it. The contracts, these are just the deception contracts. These are about 10 chaos, 11 chaos each. I will probably use these myself, and we just removed all the lockpicking deception. I mean, not deception, all the lockpicking, the counter thaumaturgy, the demolition ones, because they're 1 chaos each, and I'm not going to bother selling them. So we just straight up removed a bunch of stuff. Obviously, I upgraded all the essences. Normally, if I was doing this and it was just going into the regular tabs via affinities, then it would just come into my essence tab here, and I would just do this and upgrade all of the things. So we did that. We also turned in all of our div cards. We didn't get any particularly crazy ones. And the ones that were particularly crazy, we also removed, because you can't expect to get those. We got a lot of 3 essence div cards because City Square drops those. So I turned all those in and then upgraded all the essences. I also removed all essences that were below, I think, Screaming. So there's no wailing or muttering essences in here at all. I also upgraded all the Orbs of Chance into Orbs of Scouring, because Scours are worth more than Chance. Well, Scours are worth more than 4 chances. And I also upgraded all the Jeweler's Orbs into Fusings, because, again, they're worth more, and it's really, really easy. You just go into town and buy them from the vendor. So this is all pretty reasonable stuff, I feel. Other than that, we've got a lot of Harbinger currency. We've got these Harby Orbs. We've got a lot of the Ancient Orbs. We've got quite a few Ancient Orbs, and we got 3 6 links, so we just vended those into Divine Orbs. We didn't drop any of those naturally. We got quite a few Scarabs, and that's largely because of the operative strongbox nodes on the Atlas here. So this Secret Operations have a 6% chance to be an operative strongbox. That we were using, that's how we got, I think, pretty much all of the Scarabs that we got here. And there are a few things that, again, were not counted. So I rolled a lot of, obviously we're rolling sextants every time we do this, and I got a lot of things like, may contain a Blight encounter, may contain a Legion encounter. First 3 possessed maps drop an additional Gilded Scarab. Now this, I think, sells for, 15 chaos. Still, we're not, this one, we rolled this as well, the Beyond one. This is going to go for around 60 or 70 chaos. So we didn't count this in because it's, it's pretty random what you're going to get and if you're going to get those. So that's essentially what the loot looks like. So let's take a look at how much profit we made. Okay, so remember our cost was 1,071. So for our returns, we also, Excellence Next doesn't count the logbooks here either. So we got 3 Gwenon / Rog logbooks, that was 25 a piece. We got 1 Knights of the Sun, which is unsplit for 90. And then we got 10 of the Black Scythe logbooks, and those are 40 chaos each. The stash tab contents over here, this was worth in total 5,000. So our complete returns are 5,565 chaos, which means our total profit is 4,493, and it took us 5 hours. So it 3.5 hours on stream and then 1.5 hours off stream. So profit per hour was 898, so about 4.99 exalts per hour. So I'm going to say 5 on that. I'm going to round it up. I think this is a really, really good strategy, especially if you're working towards either apothecary cards or a headhunter, because if you do this for, how much is a headhunter right now? 62, so that's what, 10, 12, 13 hours. 13 hours and you can get a headhunter by just running this strategy. And also, obviously there's a lot of stuff that we actually removed here. This is just the very, very liquid currency, the stuff that is really, really easy to sell really, really quickly. The things like the burial medallions, whilst it's 7.5 per, the fact that we've got bulk means we can charge a lot more for them. So in actuality, I think this is going to be more like 5.5 to 6 exalts an hour, just based on bulk selling. There was somebody in my channel, Muzz. Hey Muzz. recently who was saying videos like this they never take into account how much time it takes to sell stuff, and I agree, and that's why I don't sit in my hideout and list the stuff and wait. I go run more maps and I list the stuff, and if somebody whispers me trying to buy something, then I will leave the map to go and sell it. But this is stuff that I feel like you could sell this stuff very, very easily. I mean, just the essences of horror alone, this is probably an Exalts worth. I think they're 1 for 7. Yeah, 1 for 7 for these. So you could, if you list this for 1 Exalt and go off and do some mapping, somebody will be whispering you not too far into the future asking for those. And for a lot of the essences, I actually just underprice them and then they sell very, very quickly. So yeah, that's been this video. I think we're going to do maybe a Blight strat next, or maybe Glacier. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have another how-to video as well. We're going to have another League explanation video for Blight, because I think it's quite useful going in that we can see what we're getting ourselves into. Anyway, so that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know. Come and visit us over at Twitch, and I'll speak to you next time.